Today we will be ranking every potential Money in the Bank 2025 winner. Money in the Bank is this Saturday, which means it is tomorrow, and we are going to be ranking every potential winner in both the men's and women's match. Now you can see here, we have a tier maker. I've broken it down into 4 simple sections for your convenience. First, we have Big Pop, which means we're all going to be excited, me included. I'm going to be hype. I'm going to be happy with this winner. We'll also have Mid, which is like, it's cool, I guess. We can talk ourselves into it, right? Like, it's cool, it's fine, I guess, whatever. Then we have my favorite category, the IWC Meltdown, which is the Internet Wrestling Community Meltdown. So if this person wins, expect your Twitter to be going bananas. Expect Twitter to be going crazy. Expect Reddit to be going crazy. Expect maybe even me to be going crazy and all your other favorite content creators. So the IWC Meltdown, we got to at least put one person in there. And then last but not least, I just put the F tier. F tier is just like, if this person wins, I honestly don't know if anyone except maybe a few people are going to really care. It's not really going to cause a meltdown because no one's really going to care. So let's start out with the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. And let's start out with the last participant that qualified, which is El Grande Americano. So with El Grande Americano, I have a tough time kind of placing him in this list, to be honest with you, because definitely not a Big Pop guy. Is he? Honestly, I'm thinking IWC Meltdown. Is our first one going to be my favorite category with IWC Meltdown? I think so. If El Grande Americano wins, are you going to melt down online? Let me know, because that is what I'm trying to figure out and trying to rank right now. Man. You know, he's been getting a little bit of, like, I don't think people are in love with this character, to be honest with you, with this gimmick. I think it's funny, to be honest with you. I think it's actually pretty hilarious, and I think they're doing a good job with it, but that's just my opinion. Is he an IWC Meltdown guy? I think so. I think we're going to put El Grande Americano in the IWC Meltdown section. Next up, we have Andrade. And if you watch my prediction video for this match, you know that I am a big Andrade fan and a big Andrade believer. I have not sold my Andrade stock. It is not gone anywhere. So I'm holding on to it. I got diamond hands, diamond fingers, whatever they say. It's starting to get a little bit of like, it's burning a hole in my portfolio. I'm thinking about selling, but I'm not quite there yet, and he needs a strong performance in this match. Now, for me personally, it's a big pop. It's a big pop if Andrade wins, for me. But trying to not just think about myself here. I'm trying to think about the whole landscape of the wrestling community. I'm trying to think of everybody, right? So, not a big pop guy. Don't think he's an F tier guy either. I definitely don't think he's a meltdown guy. I'm debating either F. Is anyone going to care that much if Andrade wins? I think so. I think people like Andrade. I think people see how good he is in the ring and the potential there. So I'm going to throw him in mid. That could be my bias, but I'm going to throw Andrade, my guy, into the mid category. Penta is up next, and he actually is a really interesting one going into this match. As far as these rankings are concerned, if Penta wins this match, I could see it getting a pretty big pop, honestly, a pretty big reaction. People love Penta. I do not want to underestimate how much people like Penta. Like, people are huge fans of him, and myself included. I shouldn't say people, myself included. I'm a big fan of Penta. For me, it wouldn't get a huge pop because there's other people I would rather see win this match, but I am trying to forecast not just my thoughts, but everybody's here, right? So, and trying to predict how everyone would react. Now, I'm taking mine into account more than anyone, okay? Because look, it's my rankings, right? But I'm trying to think of everybody here at least a little bit. So I'm going to put Penta in the mid category as well. To me, he's like high, mid, low, big pop. So I'm going to put him ahead of Andrade in the mid section. I don't even think mid is not even the right word, but that's just the way I categorize him. He's like a high, mid, low, big pop guy, if that makes sense. Next up, we have LA Knight. Yeah. And listen, guys, if you saw my prediction video, I predicted LA Knight is going to win this match. I also said I want LA Knight to win this match. I think, unless you are a fan of someone else in this match, you also probably want LA Knight to win this match. We all think that it's his time. I've seen other predictions. He's probably the most popular pick to win this. So LA Knight's a big pop guy, no doubt about it. The place would go crazy. I'd go crazy. I think we all would be really happy with that result. And to be honest with you, I think we're all looking for that result. I could be wrong. I don't want to put words in anyone's mouth. This is me. This is me just guessing. This is me just observing and my own thoughts as well. LA Knight's a big pop guy. We need this match. As LA Knight fans, we need this one. This is ours. This is for us. Okay? This Saturday, we're expecting to be very happy. Now, we could not be. We could actually be furious. We could actually be pissed. But don't think it's going to happen. So I'm putting LA Knight in the big pop section. Absolutely. He's the clear-cut big pop guy in this, and he's also my pick to win this match. Solo Sikoa is an interesting one going into this match because I don't think anyone would care at all if Solo Sikoa would win. In fact, would he be I don't think he would be an IWC Meltdown guy, or would he? Would the internet wrestling community go crazy if Solo won this? Me personally is an F tier, but I'm trying to think like weighing myself versus what I think the reaction would be. Man, I think F tier. I don't think anyone would really care if Solo won a couple weeks from now. I think that would be a huge mistake. Honestly, as much as I do like Solo and think he does great work, and so many people have told stories about how he's awesome in the ring and all that stuff, like he's great. I mean, Solo's great. I don't think Solo's going to win this match. To me, he has the least chance of anyone to win this, which is also why I think he goes in the F tier, because I'm also trying to think about like chances they win as well. Just a smidge. It's a weird ranking in my head, right? It actually makes no sense, okay? It actually has no logic behind it. It does, but it doesn't. So I think Solo's F tier. Let me know if you guys disagree with that, but I think Solo's F tier for this. I just don't think people care about Solo winning this match. I think people are more invested in Solo and Jacob Fatu down the road than Solo being Mr. Money in the Bank for some reason. And last but not least, we have, of course, Seth Rollins. I think Seth is the hardest person to rank in this whole ranking, men or women, honestly, because I think there's a world in which Seth winning is perceived as a big pop. It's a big deal, right? But also I could see people being pissed and being furious. I don't know if Seth wins this match, I don't think it's going to cause like a meltdown online. But I don't know. I think people are going to be pretty furious, to be honest with you. It's tough to put Seth Rollins in a category titled mid, though. Like, Seth Rollins, nothing he ever does is mid. Nothing. Seth Rollins does nothing mid. Nothing. And him winning this match is not mid. It's actually a really interesting result if Seth wins this match. There's a lot of intrigue if he wins this on who he cashes in on and when it is, and also, I mean, that's obviously for everybody who wins this, but Seth having this briefcase I think carries more weight than pretty much anyone else, maybe even LA Knight in all of this, just because of where he's at with his story, where he's at with CM Punk, Roman Reigns when he comes back. Like, adding the briefcase into that does add a little more intrigue, but also it kind of could take away from the briefcase as well. If he's feuding with all those other guys, and those are huge feuds with CM Punk and Roman Reigns, does that take away from the briefcase? It's just kind of something to think about, right? So if Seth wins this match, I'm tempted to put him in IWC Meltdown, to be honest with you. Just because, man, the more I'm kind of talking through it, I do think if Seth wins this match, people are going to see it in the way of like, why? Why did he win this? Man, this is a really tough ranking for Seth Rollins. This is extremely difficult. Okay, I'm going to put Seth Rollins in, for now, IWC Meltdown. I could be wrong about that. I could be so wrong. I could be so wrong. But that's okay. That's what these rankings are for. To basically make me look like an idiot after the show. That's fine. I'm going to put him in IWC Meltdown for now. I'm going to rank all the women, and then I want to see kind of who else is in that category with Seth, and then maybe I'll move him at the end. But I'm going to put him there for right now, and that's probably where he's going to stay. Another reason I think Seth Rollins could go in the IWC Meltdown category is because people really want LA Knight to win this. And if Seth wins this, I think it's going to be one of those things about like, they don't want to take chances on anybody else. It's always just the same people, so on and so forth. So, yeah, Seth is IWC Meltdown guy. He's IWC Meltdown guy. I don't think he's going to get a huge pop, a huge reaction. And for me personally, I'm going to have a meltdown if he wins because I want LA Knight to win this match. So I'm going to have a meltdown. Therefore, he goes in IWC Meltdown. All right, let's get to the women's Money in the Bank ladder match now, and very, very excited for this match. I said in my preview for this show that I think this is going to be the match of the night. I think it's going to be the best match on a 4-match card, thanks again, Triple H. So, 25% chance I'm right. I'll take those odds. And actually 50% chance because there's no way the John Cena tag match is the best match of the night. I'm sorry, there's just no way. So, Steiner math, I'm basically 80% chance I get this right here. And yeah, so we're going to start off with Alexa Bliss, and she's a tough one because me personally, I'm not a big Alexa Bliss fan, but the rest of the internet wrestling community is. So I have to think about those things because for me, if she wins, it's F tier. I don't care. I'm just being honest. I do not care. But rest of the internet wrestling world would. I think people would be very, very happy. So for that, I'm thinking about mid, to be honest with you, but my rankings reign supreme. My thoughts reign supreme over everything else, and she's going in the F tier. That's probably the one I will get the most backlash for, but that's okay. That's fine. That's fine. I'm just not a big fan. Personally, I'm just not a big fan, and that's okay. We all have our favorites and our non-favorites, right? Nothing against her. She seems like a splendid woman, just not a big fan of her wrestling and character. That's all. We're leaving it at that and nothing more. Next up, we have Roxanne Perez. Now, Roxanne Perez, I am a big fan of, and I think that she is a star in the making. Now, again, Roxanne Perez comes back to how quickly do they want to put the briefcase on someone like her and all that stuff, and I don't know about all that, but just as far as reactions and excitement if she wins, I'm thinking mid. Yeah, mid. In between an Andrade and a Penta. Maybe, yeah, in between an Andrade and a Penta. She hasn't been on the roster that long yet, in the main roster. But she's in some interesting story with Judgment Day, although that may have fizzled out by now, I'm not sure. Well, no, I guess she did help them win last week on Raw. So that's still there. They're putting her in Judgment Day story. She's in some interesting stuff. She's not doing boring stuff. To me, she's not like Julia, which hasn't really done much yet, and we'll get to her in a second. So I'm going to put her in the mid, in between Penta and Andrade. I think she goes ahead of Andrade, behind Penta. Penta, to me, is still the class of the midsection. So I will put Roxanne Perez in between those two. All right. Now we're getting down to it. Stephanie Vaquer. Big pop. We don't need anything else. No other analysis needed. Big pop. Stephanie Vaquer, yeah, she's legit. She's a star. She is an absolute star. She's already been called up. Already in the Money in the Bank match just after getting called up. She's working double duty. She's working the Worlds Collide show and this show. She's the workhorse of the night along with Chad Gable. So it's big pop, man. Now she's going to go behind LA Knight. Okay, she's not going to get as big a pop to LA Knight. She's going behind LA Knight. These are in ranking in tiers. They're tiered up and then they're ranked. Should have mentioned that before. They're tiered up and then they're ranked. Yeah, she's going to go behind LA Knight. Big pop if Stephanie Vaquer wins. Big pop over here. Hopefully you guys are excited about as well. I think it will be. She's been getting good reactions, so I think she will be. So, yeah, Stephanie Vaquer, big pop. 3 more left. We're halfway through the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. And next up, we have Naomi. And Naomi, to me, is also a big pop. She was my pick to win this match. She has been, I think, a lot of people's pick. And at first, I think she was kind of like the sexy pick. Like, I'm not going to pick Rhea. I'll pick Naomi. And then it became, I'm not going to pick Naomi or Rhea. I'll pick like Roxanne Perez or maybe even Stephanie Vaquer. She's kind of been like the zag pick a little bit, kind of that pick that people are trying to be different, which is fine. But now a lot of people are picking Naomi. And I don't know if she's necessarily the favorite going into this, but she's right up there. People have been really enjoying Naomi's work, and I don't blame them. I'm the same way. She's been putting in excellent work, probably the best work of her career, like I mentioned before. And this would be very deserving if she won this Money in the Bank briefcase. People, I think, would be really excited about where the story could go. I'd be very excited about where that story could go with her and Bianca and Jade, and now you throw the briefcase and all that. It's very interesting. So, big pop. She's going to go ahead of Stephanie Vaquer, behind LA Knight, sandwiched in between those two, but big pop if Naomi wins this briefcase. We'll save Rhea for last. Let's go with Julia. And Julia, I hate to say it, is F tier. I almost thought about IWC Meltdown, but I don't think she's really even getting reaction enough to cause a meltdown. Yeah, to me, she's F tier. I like Julia, honestly, and she did some pretty good stuff in NXT in her short, brief time she was there, and I actually did enjoy it. She just pretty much has done nothing on the main roster. She did like the tag thing with Roxanne Perez, and it split up quickly. They split the brands, and it was weird. Weird way to get them up, but whatever. It's fine. They're here now. You know, we'll forget about it 2-3 weeks from now. That's okay. That's fine. But yeah, she's not getting reactions. I'm not super into her since she's been caught up. I think that eventually she will get there. She's good, and I do think she'll get there. But for right now, I put her, same with Solo, least amount chance to win this match. I don't see a world in which she wins this at all, similar to Solo. So I'm going to put her in the F tier along with her other F tier companion, Solo Sikoa. And I actually put her behind Alexa Bliss because Alexa Bliss is just me being not a hater, but my basically opinion and no one else's. Well, maybe a few others, but basically just mine. Julia, I actually think no, it would be F tier for everybody. So I'll put Julia there. Last up, Rhea Ripley. Boy, Rhea is like Seth, right? They're in like a very similar thing. They're hard to rank, but I do think that, first of all, Rhea is she's my favorite woman, probably like my third favorite wrestler. So we're going to factor that into these rankings. But I'm trying to project a little bit also the rest of the internet wrestling world and what everyone else is going to think. Are people going to be upset if Rhea wins this match? I think there's going to be a section of wrestling fans who are not going to be happy if she wins because they would rather see someone else get that opportunity, like a Naomi or like a Stephanie Vaquer. And the argument would simply be that Rhea Ripley doesn't need the briefcase. Again, similar to the argument for someone like a Seth Rollins. I totally understand that argument. But Rhea Ripley is one of my favorites. She just is. So, I see the argument. She doesn't need the briefcase, although she's never won it. And she, again, I said this in my preview, she will have every accolade she could possibly have by the time she retires, including winning this match at least one time in her career. So, will this be the time they do that? I'm not sure. Again, I picked Naomi to win, but I wouldn't be shocked if Rhea won. I'd be happy if Rhea won. I think the place would explode if she won because she's one of the most popular people in wrestling, period. So I'm going to put her in Big Pop. Like, come on, it's Rhea Ripley. She can't go anywhere but Big Pop, okay? I'm going to put her... I'm going to actually put her... I'm going to put her ahead of Naomi. Now, because I don't want just the two people I picked to be the two highest. Like, that's kind of lame. So I will put her in between Naomi and LA Knight. All right, so we have our official tier rankings. That is everyone who could possibly win the Money in the Bank ladder match, both men and women's side, tiered up and ranked. Let me know in the comments section down below your thoughts on these rankings. Who did I miss out on? Who was I hating too much on? Who did I not give enough props to? I'm looking back, and the Seth Rollins pick I actually feel pretty good about. So let me know your thoughts on that and everything else in the comment section down below. Money in the Bank tomorrow night. Looking forward to it. I will be posting a video with my live Raw reactions right after the show is over, so keep an eye out for that. Everyone, enjoy your weekend and enjoy Money in the Bank.